Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Monday, May 8th, 2023, and we have survived, of course, Charles becoming king. Very interesting. I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. To me, it's one big puppet show. I wasn't that interested, but something very fascinating was happening. I saw a clip that apparently the Grim Reaper paid a visit to when things were happening there, and it was very strange. Here in the Dutch media we have an article about the Grim Reaper, and I believe in Newsweek there was an article as well. They were trying to explain who that person was because it really looked like a Grim Reaper. Apparently it was a verger working there, not necessarily a religious leader, but someone that helps out with those rituals. And you know this happening is so strict and everything is put in detail. Everyone knows exactly what they're doing. And then suddenly you have this Grim Reaper walking around. I was like, yeah, right. That sounds like a certain action to me. So I really wanted to take a look at this. To me, this symbolizes really the end of the royal families. Just the families, just the monarchies we still have. But of course, we're now talking about the British ones. But I really think it was very symbolic. And the cards I got, first of all, was the King of Cups. We've got the Seven of Pentacles for the central card. We have the Chariot in the past. We've got the Four of Swords underneath the Seven of Pentacles. And for the future, we have the Knight of Cups and the Ten of Swords. And this to me feels like a radical ending. So this is coming to a close. This entire puppet show, even here in the Netherlands, we just had King's Day. But a lot of people are like, why do we still have a monarchy? Why do we actually have this royal family? And I believe a lot more will be coming out about the royal families. There's so much going on. Unfortunately, horrible things as well, and they will come out. But right now, it's just being patient. We see things are falling apart. A lot of countries that still have this symbolic, this King Charles as their head of state. They just want to get out of there. They really don't want to have anything to do with him. And it's really a case of just waiting patiently because this is coming to an end. And this was just show. And I'm sure there were a lot more symbolism going on. But I thought the Grim Reaper was quite grim. And very, just in your face. This is really the end of very symbolic. And I think a lot of people are, in a way, really going to be happy about this. Because really, it's just a very strange institution. If I look at the Dutch royal family, they've been living royally on the taxpayers' money for years. And really, it's so unnecessary. It's not a system that's working anymore. And I think a lot of people also in Great Britain and probably other countries where they still have a royal family, it's coming to an end. It closes. It's time that it ends. And it will. So the Grim Reaper was really very symbolic of what's to come with the royal families. But I just had to laugh about that. I thought it was very macabre, if that's a correct word. It's I kind of like that dark sense of humor. It's like, oh well, right. So like this verger apparently had no idea what was going on there, just walking around there like nothing happening. That's not going to happen. Nobody believes that. So it's very interesting what they come up with in the media to explain this situation. It's just hilarious. Anyway, so this is what I got for the Grim Reaper. It has showing up at the coronation of King Charles. And the other thing I wanted to take a look at is the coming week. What are the energies for the coming week? And the first I got was the Chariot. I've got the Six of Cups. And I've got the Moon card. So this is very interesting. This is the coming energies. Again, 2 major arcana cards. So it usually lasts longer than just 1 week. But we're going to see more and more, I think, the Whiteheads taking over. We're going to see more and more taking back control. And I think that's very important because there's still a lot of confusion going on there. Like, is this Darkhead? Is this Whitehead? What's going on? And I think that's very important. Also, children, things with children will come out this coming week. And I think that's important. It will be brought out in stages. I fully understand people like, well, why aren't you just bringing it out? You know, why isn't the truth coming out? Because there are a lot of people who will not be able to handle it now. So you have to bring it in phases. So they'll be able to gradually grasp what's really been going on. Also, and I fully understand the anger, but like, why aren't the whiteheads taking over? What are they waiting for? I do understand that. I'm not saying that I fully understand what exactly is going on, but how I see things and how I feel is that this isn't about changing the systems. Of course it is, but ultimately this is about the spiritual awakening of humanity. And you're not going to do that if the whiteheads are going to take over, you know, change everything, and then you have this entire group of people with very low vibrations who have no idea what's going on and are still creating from that vibration, not understanding that they have to change their energies. And there is going to be a group of people that are not going to wake up, and of course they will have their own timelines, and that's the way it is, because you can't force people. This is a free will zone, and that's very important to understand as well, that the whiteheads can't just take over, because if they do, they'll be doing the same thing as the blackheads. And I know there are people out there that think that the whiteheads are doing the same thing as the blackheads, but really, if that was the case, they would have taken over quite some time ago as well. Because a lot of people are really waiting for that liberation outside of themselves. But this is about liberating humanity inside of ourselves. So this is about the spiritual awakening. And you cannot do that if people aren't waking up, or at least giving the opportunity to wake up. Because like I've mentioned, not everyone will. There are soul contracts, there are choices people make. If it's an unconscious level or an unconscious level, everyone has their own choices to make. So you will end up in the frequency and in the timeline that fits your vibration. But that's why I think that the whiteheads aren't just taking over, because really not much is going to change. There'll be a large group of people who are not completely aware of what's truly going on, that there are spiritual beings, and that's where the change needs to happen. And I like to emphasize that as well, because I saw a reaction actually under one of my videos saying like, well, this is very passive what you're saying. And that's really very strange to me, because shadow work, working with your consciousness, is not passive. There's nothing passive about this. Someone working with their own shadow will fully understand what I'm talking about. It's tough. It's not easy. But the beauty is, if you change your own energy, if you really, embrace everything you feel, things that come up, you will change. And when you fundamentally change as your energy and as a human being, you will see this around you, because it's a reflection, the outside of your inside. It's not separated. That's what the dark energies want you to believe, that everything is separated, that there's a reality out there, and you're kind of just walking around in that reality, and there's no connection whatsoever. And if you want to get things done, you have to do it in reality, not in yourself. Like, it's separate. That's of course what the dark energies see things. They want to see things as something they can, malleable. I think that's the correct word. Like, they can change it. They can become gods themselves and do all these things. In reality, we are all connected. And we are connected to what we see outside of ourselves. So if we change our energies, and shadow work is not easy at all, and there's nothing passive about it, then you will change your reality. And that's exactly what we want. We want humanity to step up now. We don't want another force to do it for us. So also this idea that if you believe in the whiteheads, which I truly do, that you're just going to sit back and not do anything, that's nonsense. We all have to do our share. We have to work with ourselves, work with our shadows, work with what comes up, do light work if it's necessary. We have to work with our energies so we can start creating something else. And the whiteheads are doing their part. We have to do our part. There's nothing passive about that. So that's what I wanted to mention as well. The last three cards are the advice For the coming week, we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Strength card. And I was looking at the back of the deck and we have the Ten of Swords, which was the energy, if I'm not mistaken, from last week. It's important to cut ties. If it doesn't suit you anymore, doesn't feel right. We've just had the full moon in Scorpio. It's very suitable to let go of things that don't suit you anymore. Certain people, just things that don't fit with you anymore. But it's about connecting with our emotions, our feelings, truly connect within ourselves. We have the Nine of Wands, old pains, embrace them, don't act on them again. You know, in a way, this is someone who expects to fight again. It's not necessary. It's really about feeling through the pain, the anger, frustration, fear, whatever comes up, let it just be. Don't sink into, don't wallow into it, but don't start analyzing it or start reacting outward. You can feel through it and then you will just become stronger and stronger, because then you're taking back all these energies that are part of you. You know, all the pain you don't want to face, all the fear, the anger, frustration, they are all part of you. And if you face them, if you really, you know, feel through them, you will become so strong and you'll be able to use your energy to start manifesting. That's what this really is about, that we start manifesting ourselves, what we want to see in our outside world, and not dependable on things outside of ourselves to just change things for us. We need to step it up. We need to make that change. So I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.